Hear ye, lords and ladies, lads and lasses, from the four corners of the realm, gather ye close, for upon this day we embark upon another tale of valor, wit, and waxed cardboard. Welcome, I say, to the No Bangers Sports Card Podcast, episode number 39. Let the jesters jest, the breakers break, and the commons cheer, for the hobby shall know no bangers this day.
Yeah, game of dorks. I love
I am joined by the illustrious co-host, Mr. Fred Durst from Picking and Punching Cards, Cary from American Arbitrage Cards, and I am Tim from Over the Years Sports.
I'm not going to lie, Tim. I liked the intro there for a minute, and then I got disappointed that you didn't carry it on to our names. I thought we were going to get some type of medieval type of like...
Well,
Yeah,
I couldn't...
that's-
I had to do Fred Durst because of your outfit.
Yeah.
It was the
We
only
got
thing.
exactly. Can we get this?
I'm not wearing a red
podcast,
hat. He wears a red hat all the time, not a
He
green
wore
one.
green ones too. And can we get this rolling? Yeah.
That's a great dad joke. And
Man.
this
I
is
hate
the last.
You both so much.
This
Like,
is the
I
last
wanted to say
week.
that so bad.
This is the last week of the homeless look. I'm getting a
What
haircut
do-
tomorrow morning.
What are you gonna do? Just a better, like a trimmer beard, or are you gonna?
Oh
go
yeah,
no
I'm
beard?
gonna. I mean, like, look at me, like.
Oh, my gosh.
I am a
You should
mess.
see if they could just like maybe they could
dude, you look like the
reorganize
Unabomber.
it.
Like when you walk into a barber, like, hey, can I get the Unabomber haircut? Because that's what you look like right now.
I go.
He
to,
looks like-
I go to a real barber. I don't go to like sport cuts or anything like that. I go to a real barber.
I get that, but doesn't mean he can't make you look like the Unabomber because you've done a great job so far looking like that.
He sounds like a guy that like would teach you how to mine for gold. Like he looks like a guy that would teach you how to mine for gold, but like it would actually just be pyrite the whole time. It would
be fool's
actual
gold the entire time,
fool's
yeah.
gold, yeah.
We did that when we were kids. There was a place called Frontier Town in Ocean City, Maryland, and they would have like you'd ride the train and they do like a robbery of the train. You
Oh, wow.
mine for gold. You do like the Indians and they do like the whole like Indian rituals, and then you'd go into the town and they do like a shootout in the middle of the dirt road and everything. You can go get the shaves and all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I guess you skipped the shave part, but
Yeah.
all right.
We had a lot of that growing up in California. The Gold Rush, 1849. Shout out Gold Rush. I think it was 49ers. Yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
deal in California growing up. The mining for gold and stuff. Pennsylvania. What did you have? Like, did you guys just learn how to make butter or whatever?
The Amish, they would turn some butter down
Oh,
there. That's for sure.
tough weekend for the
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
here we go.
yeah.
Shout out Nico I mean, the best game of his
Yeah.
career. What do you have? Like 4 passing touchdowns, 4 running touchdowns.
Yeah, you guys
were-
made.
They were 0-4, and they put up. And the guy who's calling plays is shout out to Gaby because I saw this in his story. But I messaged him to see if he saw what I saw. That's who the guy who's calling plays for UCLA is.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
Rick.
Neuheisel's son or whatever.
Yeah. And he just put up like 56 points on Penn State, who have the highest paid defensive coordinator in the country, which
Dude,
I did not know.
He turned Nico from like Ryan Leaf to Ryan Fitzmagic,
Yeah,
like
It was-
overnight.
And then you had to live through Sunday, when the Washington Commanders on one hand traveled to LA and took down the Chargers. Shout out to the Commanders. And then the Eagles. What happened? You guys lost to the Broncos. You guys were up by 14 points in the fourth quarter. The Denver Broncos, in their entire history as a franchise, have only won one time. They were 1 in like 114 when trailing by 14 or more points into the fourth quarter on the road, and they beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So tough day for Philadelphia, for the Pennsylvanians.
How long have you been holding that inside you? You've been waiting for this moment for how long now?
No, it's funny because you guys bust my balls all the
I
time,
know,
and
I
then
know.
like I put in what Nico I in the group chat, and it's crickets from Rod and Cary. At least I have the backbone to answer to you guys busting my balls.
Well, I was with Cary. We were in SeaWorld at Hall of Scream. So,
Well, there's
Yeah.
some good news for Rod this week. I did some research and
no.
I lived in Southern Utah for a while. I actually even got accepted to
imagine.
Southern Utah University. And your Tarleton State, what are you guys like, potato farmers? You guys won 52-42 over Southern Utah. So congratulations.
What the
Has
Carlos
Tarleton
beat?
State lost yet?
I think it's where he's got to put all his eggs in that basket. 'cause that's
They're
the only thing he'll-
undefeated.
Are they? Let me look.
They gotta be.
Oh, they're 6-0, dude.
They're 6-0. Shout out Tarleton State.
Yeah, shout out, dude. If
You two idiots done. Are you guys done?
If you
Can
guys
we have a
if you
podcast
guys
for
aren't
cards?
looking for Daniel Greek cards, he threw 3 touchdowns. I think he also bartends on the weekends. So,
Bro, you know what would be dope if Tarleton State called us up and said, "Hey, do you guys want to do like a game day, like live from Tarleton State kickoff, like No Bangers episode?" That'd be awesome.
I want Tarleton State to. Can they
There's
sponsor
no
the
S.
podcast?
There's no S though. There's no S. It's just Tarleton.
I don't know. I'm calling us Tarleton.
All right, that's
It's
enough of this.
Tarleton?
That's enough of this.
How is it, Rod? What's the campus like at Tarleton? Is it just like an old Burger King or something?
Oh man! All right. Well, how was your guys' weekend? Do you guys go any card shows? What do you guys end up doing?
Cary, did you go to card shows?
No, there's no card. Actually, I would have went. There was no card shows this weekend that I could find anywhere near me. There
That's
might
a
have been
first.
one in Tampa. There probably was something if I wanted to go like 3 hours or something. But I went to Brown's Junk in the Trunk flea market, but didn't. Big Tom, if you know Big Tom in the area, I know Rod does. He was supposed to go to Brown's, but the problem is like it's Florida and there was rain all week, and a lot of people didn't end up going. I found a little bit of cards at the flea market, but not much. And I'm looking forward to next week because I don't like a weekend. I'm at the point I'm so spoiled I don't like a weekend without a card show.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I literally it happens very rarely here. Like there was card show this weekend, but I didn't go. I was doing a yard sale for my mom, so helping her get rid of stuff. I will tell you guys, there was a bunch of people asking for sports cards at the yard sale. Yeah,
interesting.
And there was one guy who was like, he's building an 87 Topps basketball set, which I don't.
Is that any good?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Are we talking? We're got to be talking about 86, 87.
That's 87 is the box I sold for.
Well, 87, 88, but like he could be talking about. I think they're interchangeable to people, that are casually talking about it.
I got you.
87, 88 is rare. Is actually harder to get than 86, 87. Problem is no rookies. The big rookie. Do you know who the big rookie is in the 87, 88 set of basketball? Think about it. It's a tough one, and it's maybe debatable, but I think it's this guy. At home,
Charles Witherspoon.
I don't even know if that guy played basketball. Are you talking about Clarence Witherspoon? And that was the mid '90s.
Was it Muggsy? No, Muggsy was in '86.
I'll give you a clue. German.
Is it the dude from the Nets?
No, it wasn't what's his name?
He was so good.
Drazen Petrovic. That's
oh my
90.
God. Have you watched his highlight reel, bro?
Have you guys ever seen Parks and Recreation?
No.
Yes.
He's on that. He played for the Pacers for a while.
Rick Smits?
That's
Is
a
it
good
Detlef
guess.
Shrimp?
It is. It is
there you go.
Detlef. Del Ellis, Charles Oakley. There's not a.
There's no like huge like rookies.
There's no
in that
huge.
set.
I think Hot Rod. No, he might have been 86, 87. So there's no big rookies. Chuck Person, the rifleman.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else is that.
I think he might have been 86, 87 actually. But
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Nerd
And
stuff.
also, I will tell you, was shocked. So my mom and my dad were collectors, right? So like they were like my dad wanted to be Don West. No questions asked, right?
Well, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, now does it?
I feel like you're like a modern day Don West. You're like Don West Jr.
You're like a Temu version of Don West.
Why am I a Temu version of everybody? When do I get to be an Amazon version?
Fine, I'll
of
make you a
someone?
Shimu version of something. Then, which is
But like, so my mom and dad were collectors and dealers. So that's how I got my start into cards when I was young. I would be like 9, 10, 11 years old, and I would be at the flea market at 6 a.m. with my cards out on the table, priced everything. Like I was a hustler from day one. There was no stop. Like I'm a born hustler, right? But anyways, my mom and my dad had Beanie Babies, and they've been sitting in my mom's garage for umpteenth years. And so there was literally like 4 totes. For those of you that aren't resellers and don't know what totes are, they're the plastic tubs. They're huge plastic tubs, right? So there's just massive amounts of Beanie Babies. I sold every single one of them. Every single Beanie Baby sold at the yard sale. It was insane. I could not believe what was going on. Like I was selling them at 25 cents a pop.
Yeah, People will buy them just for the animal at that price because they're still cute and they're like fun to maybe put on a shelf and stuff. I will say this: do you think in 20 years when we're going to yard sales and card shows, there'll be just Labubus and like little, like
I don't know if they've
plastic cases.
produced enough of the Lububus like they did the Beanie Babies.
So here's an interesting thing with the Beanie Babies: people buy them and they actually give them to first responders. Because when the cops or firemen go to like a house, like domestic dispute, they have to get the kids out of the house. Something they give them to the kids, so that's like a comfort thing. And then people also buy them to take to hospitals, like children's hospitals, and donate to children's hospitals.
Autistic kids too. They work really well with kids with autism because of like the textures and the sounds that they make and stuff like that. So one of the guys at the end, when it was like towards when I only had like maybe like a half a tote left, he was like, like what do you how much you want for all of them? And I was like, dude, he was like, I give them away for the kids, and I was like, dude, $10, just take the whole thing. And he was like, that's perfect. And so he gave me $10, and my mom was looking at me like, how much did you get to? And I told her, I was like, he's giving them away to kids. She's like, oh, okay. And then he ended up giving me a bouquet of flowers to give to Josie. He was like, do you have somebody you love in your life? I was like, yeah, my wife is inside with the kid. He was like, here, and he gave me like these like flowers. He was like, you can make a bouquet out of these, and I was like, awesome. So like, it was crazy because a lot of times like when we have yard sales, people are just dicks, right? Like, let's just be
that's
honest.
the first time I've ever heard a buyer give a bouquet of flowers to the person they bought from at a yard sale.
Well, your card's right. May have given you something else too there, buddy. I don't know.
So but like we had some early birds. I put no early birds in there, and like I had to flip out on some people because they were going through boxes like as I was trying to get the stuff out. And they were all wanted gold and silver. I'm like, there's no gold, there's no silver.
They were all picking and punching. They're getting there early, being douchey.
Listen, that's my gimmick, all right? I could be the douche, all right? But Tim, you go to the yard sales early all the time.
Yeah, but I'm respectful.
Okay.
Like, there's a big difference. Like, that's why I was telling us, like, there's a way to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it is. Like, you ask, and, like, if like, don't be, like, digging through people's boxes unless, like, they say you dig through the box. But, like, I told them not to dig through the box. And, like, as a reseller, I know what they're looking for. And I'm like, there's no gold, there's no silver, there's no video games. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, there's
Rod's
70 years of stuff, but none of that.
Rod's the kind of guy that goes into a yard sale, and if he doesn't get his way, he goes, it's my way. It's my way or the highway. He'll scream it. He'll sing it, in fact. And it's off-putting.
Yeah, but it works.
You got to have faith when you're picking with
I see what you're doing there.
I see what you're low-key doing
right now. Oh, do you have Jenkos on? No, he's got South Pole on, probably.
He does have
does your shirt say Bangtown, by the way?
Yeah, when I worked for the fight company.
Dude, were you like a fluffer or something? When did you get a Bangtown shirt?
Listen, when I was on tour the MMA company, this is one of the sponsors for the actual. They came to the events, and this is what their clothing line was. Bangtown. People like
you legally can name a company Bangtown?
Do they still sell Bangtown?
I don't think they're in business anymore.
I like how they were so cool they couldn't even center the lettering. They're like, just put it over their shoulder.
Yeah,
screw it.
I don't know. Yeah, good question. I don't know.
We'll own the misprinting.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I have a situation I want to talk to you guys about. I want to get your opinion on what you guys would have done in this situation. So I had family visiting. My dad was in town all week long, and on me and my wife's ex have a great relationship because they have a kid together and stuff like that. So I have a stepson. But anyway. My stepson has a half brother and a half sister, and it was his half brother's first birthday. So we always go to all the family events and stuff like that. So I get invited to this guy's house to go to this birthday party, and this is why it's so important to tell people what you do and what you look for. When I was there, the guy's like, "Hey man, you sell a bunch of cards and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Come check out my card collection. I just want to get rid of it." I was like, "All right." So he walked me into the shed first.
Wait, hold on, for mess this up because I was sending spam to voicemail just now.
Gotcha.
So this is your brother-in-law's cousin's house?
No, this is a friend of my wife's baby daddy, his house. Okay. So
very DC, very DC there.
Yeah. So, but no, they've been together for a couple of years. They broke up. We have great. He's married. We're married. We have a great relationship. Anyway. Good. So it was.
So your wife's baby daddy's friend.
Yes, but it was my stepson's has two siblings, a half brother and half sister. So it was his half brother's first birthday. So we got invited to a friend of the family's. They did a big birthday party for him. They had food truck, like bounce houses, cool thing. I go to this place. And the guy's like, "Hey man, I know that you do cards and you resell stuff. That I want to show you my collection. I just want to get rid of it." So it takes me into like the shed area, and we're going through, and he opens up. He's like, "Yeah," he goes, "I used to work at a flea market like 10, 15 years ago. I got like all these boxes, like 3,000 count boxes. I'm digging through. It's like 1985 WWF, 1987 WWF. I'm digging through. There's a bunch of like basketball binders with like SGA rookies in there, Djokovic rookies, like a bunch of like cool, like good stuff in there. Some autos, some other
Wait,
stuff.
Djokovic or Jokic?
Jokic, sorry.
Okay.
And Novak Djokovic cards.
I was gonna say those are not easy
Probably
to
worth
come
some
by.
money.
And then I'm going through like all this different stuff, right? So and then there he takes a tote and he puts it on a chair and he walks out, right? And he has a bunch of binders. He puts the binders on this tote. So as my back's turned, I'm digging through this digging through. He's like, "Ah, go just dig through it. I'll come back in like 10, 15 minutes." No. As I'm digging through the
alligator
tote,
came.
No, the tote behind me
Rat feces
tips over and falls. And I'm like, and the 3,000 count box goes over the floor. And I'm like,
dude.
What do you do? So at that moment, like I started panicking. I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna
You
come
get in the
here.
car and you
he's gonna think,
leave your family there and you go home.
No, yeah, he was gonna think that I just like ruined all his cards. So now I'm panicking and I'm trying to like get all them, and they're all like organized, and I'm like trying to get them.
They were organized.
Yeah, they were organized, but they're like, dude, they're organized.
Were they raw dogged?
They're all raw dogged. So they were organized by set and stuff like that. So like, bro, so if it fell over and I'm panicking, I'm like putting it back in. By the time I put it all back in, I put the 3,000 count box back in the tote. I put the tote down. He comes walking in the door. So didn't see it. So if you were in that situation, what would you have done? Would you have told him, "Hey man, your tote, it was his fault that he put the tote there and it fell over like that"? Or do you just not say a word? And just,
was it his fault though?
Yes, he's the one who put the tote on there. He's the
but
one.
How did the tote fall?
Because he put the tote was like on like a chair, but wasn't fully on the chair. It was like halfway on, halfway off. But he took the binder.
And you ain't knock it over because we all know you're a little clumsy.
No. He took the binders. He had like 10 binders, and he put like 3 or 4 binders on top of it on the one side that was hanging off, and just over time it just boom fell over.
I mean, if you ain't ding no like Jordan rookies, you'll be all right.
Yeah, it was anything. Yeah, it's. I mean,
so,
but
I mean, you ended up buying everything, right?
No, he gave me everything, and then he said, "Yeah, well, no." He said, "Here, take it with you. I don't care. Just come up with the price, and we'll talk about it later on." Which I know the guy is super cool about stuff. So like, I'm like, "Hey, this is worth X amount of dollars," and I'm like, "Hey, just give me 25% or whatever." You know what I mean? Like one of those situations. But like, what I'm just saying is like, if you were at a flea market, if you were at a yard sale, or and that happened to you, like, what do you do? Like, do you tell the people? Or do you just like?
Hell no. If nothing broke or nothing got messed up, no.
Yeah. Ugh. What about you,
Cary? I know Cary's answer. He's gonna say, "Yeah, I would say."
Cary would have told him, and he would have paid him an extra like $200 on top of it.
No, I think honestly, if they didn't see it and there was nothing damaged, honestly, I probably wouldn't say anything. Because
if I would have damaged something, I would have been
too embarrassed. You know what the worst situation in that is? Is you did damage something and it's a garbage card, but they think it isn't.
Yeah,
that's the worst problem. Because they're like, you know what? That's a second-year Brian Bosworth score. Second-year rookie. I'm like, that's not even called a rookie if it's second year. No, it's second year
rookie. That is a Juan Gonzalez error card, and you just ding the corner.
And they're even wrong on the year.
On
it's
eBay
a 90, for. Yeah, exactly. They don't even have the year. It's a 91 reverse negative.
It's funny because I did have a couple of conversations like, "Oh man, this one's got to be worth a lot of money here." I'm like,
that's the problem.
Sorry, that it's not. But I was like, "Hey, these could be good and stuff like that." Bro, I'll tell you what he had, Cary, that you would have liked. He had a complete binder filled with like 93, 94, 95, like Fleer Ultra, Fleer, Marvel. Like the Marvel.
Dude, I had like a year and a half where I was going to my local card shop and they had comic books and they had Marvel cards. And I think there was like a year where I almost entirely bought Marvel. There was the set that you could put together that became like a puzzle on the sleeve, like a big giant portrait of like 9 cards, like on the back, whatever they called those back in the day. I love that set. It was so cool.
So for the viewers listening on, watching on YouTube and listening on Spotify,
I was going to say for the viewers listening.
No, if you're listening, I want to say
let us know down below. What would you have done if that was you and you were in that situation? I'm interested.
If you're listening and you've never seen Rod before, I'm going to give you just a visual real quick. He's got one of those goatees that you braid. Do you remember how cool those were? It's bleached blonde. He braided it. He's got a faux hawk, which wasn't popular back then. And then, basically, if you put him in If you took a person from 1999 and somehow they weren't totally confused about the situation of a podcast and just put him in front of the mic and started talking, that is Rod.
He looks like an extra from TRL right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's funny, actually. I'll give you that one.
That is
give
pretty
you that
good.
one.
I
Right.
like that. He's like the security guard.
Oh, I
right.
didn't know, in case you guys didn't know this, but the Washington Commanders won yesterday.
All right, we had enough of you. But let's talk about
The
who
Jags
won
play tonight, guys. 3-1. We're playing the Chiefs, the Kansas City Swifties,
game
and we're going
for
to see
you
what
guys.
happens. Yeah, it's a big one, honestly. It really is.
So you had a big come up this week, Tim. What happened with your little Yankee player that you told everyone to go?
Oh, yes. Cam Schlittler. So last week, if you guys were listening on Spotify, shout out to my Spotify gang in the building.
What?
And if you were watching on YouTube, I told you guys pay close attention to what's going on in the baseball playoffs. So the perfect storm, shout out Mark Wahlberg, came to fruition here. The Yankees are playing the Red Sox in elimination game. Schlittler versus Connerly Early, two of the youngest starting pitchers in playoff history for either organization. And Schlittler went out there and put out an absolutely gem performance, became an instant legend folklore in Yankee history. So, you have Yankees prospects are always going to sell better than any other team's prospects.
What about Dodgers?
Then you had
better than Dodgers. I'd
better
say.
than Dodgers, yeah. Then you had a guy pitching whose card just came out, his first Bowman. I found out he did have some Panini stuff too.
Oh, okay.
I think he's in Crusade, maybe somebody said.
Well, that was his first license card, though, right?
First license card, yeah. It was his
Bro,
first Bowman.
Are you okay over there? What's going on? You need to take a second. You need to pause your mic. Take a second. Take some water there.
You need to vape away the cough?
Yeah, like all right, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, continue.
All right. Cam Schlittler goes out and pitches a perfect gem. Yankees eliminate the Red Sox in a winner go home game. It was like 8 shutout innings. I forget how many strikeouts he had, but like dominant performance. And his first Bowman Chrome base card, which I had literally just bought, was in a pile right there. And I was like, I didn't even think about listening to it before the game started. That was stupid. And then, but I was occupied. I was at my mom's house before the game started. And so I messaged these guys and I'm like, make sure you guys pull out your Schlittlers. And I didn't even look at the comps at that point. I went to eBay and it was insane. People who had the auction, first Chrome base. I mean, imagine if you had an auto or something like that. You're talking about $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 probably on some of those low numbered autos. But like his first Chrome base cards sold for as much as $100 per card.
Now,
That was a card that was $2.
How much more? We're gonna Tim Stradamus. How much more is that going to go up over the next 10 years? Is this the base, the $100? Like, is that where the base card is starting at 100 and it's going to keep going up?
No.
I'm just joking.
But like,
Who's paying $100 for that? Is what I'm saying. That is insane.
like a lot of people. But like, I would say that the average sold comp probably that night. I didn't even sell mine that night. I sold mine the next morning. Somebody sent me. I had mine listed for $49.99. Somebody sent me an offer for $42, and I was like, you know what? I'm taking this because if you get too greedy in a situation, exactly. If you get too greedy in a situation like that, they'll probably start to go down.
Do you think the people buying those are primarily fans and they just want a card of them?
Yeah,
so it's not like people anticipating it going up. They're just like, I got to get a Cam Schlittler.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So do you know what the last one sold for today?
I'm going to say $29. First Bowman Chrome base.
Dude, there's one sold for 20, one sold for 7, one sold for 10.
So it's already coming back down to earth.
Yeah. The auto first true blue at a 150 sold for 710 in auction. So I mean, like, it just goes to show you. But to add to your point is how important it is to timing is everything. You know what I mean? Get your stuff up as soon as possible. When you open up packs, you pull something, get it listed ASAP.
If you're as organized as Tim as well, like having your teams organized and everything,
Tim's really good at that.
It doesn't hurt. Especially baseball is easier than football because it's just 1 or 2 games a night right now with the playoffs to follow. But like, have your guys ready. Because I would, and maybe I've done this in the past where I'll have cards listed, especially during like Super Bowl, AFC championships, NFC championships. Something happens, and then during the game, like here's rule number one: like if you have offers on and people start sending you offers, if you get 2 or 3 of those in a row, take your card down. In my opinion, take your card down, raise it $5 or $10. I can't tell you. I've done that numerous times, and then it immediately sells at the higher
thing that's
price.
interesting too is that like. Like I said, that's part of a perfect storm. That set just came out.
Yeah.
And like that's his first card, his only card. So like, it's a little bit different. But
It's
you
all or
see,
nothing on that one,
you
pretty
saw like the change already though in that price. But I
Yeah.
mean like and I shipped it out. I printed that label out ASAP, bro. I made sure that thing was packed and out the door. I ain't want no cancellations on that mother. But like the thing that's crazy too is like Mac Jones, for example. Dude went out and listen, I've been a Mac Jones non-believer from day one, right? Like I was never a Mac Jones guy. I thought he was just super overrated and like, like it was a little bit weird because that wasn't technically COVID. That was still technically post-COVID, I guess, right? Mac Jones.
But he walked in the worst situation. Like Tom Brady leaves, he's supposed to take over the keys to the kingdom, and like so much extra pressure. It's not a quarterback. I mean,
but I mean, like as an NFL scout,
Yeah, I get
like
it.
I didn't see him projecting to be like somebody who's going to be big. So like I never.
Mac had a
invested.
big game, didn't he?
He went out there. I was going to say he went out there and balled out against the Rams, and did it hurt too? Like he was getting destroyed.
It makes you think, like, is it the system with the 49ers?
That's what I was about to say.
Because of
It
Brock
is a
Purdy
system.
too, who didn't have people after him when he was drafted, and then
But I'm not a Brock Purdy guy either. I think I think the Niners messed up by giving Brock Purdy all that money. But like for me,
Hold on a
it's,
minute, but who else would they have given? I mean, what else could they have done? You know what I mean? Like,
could
they
have
didn't
signed
have
Mac
choice.
Jones to a $7 million deal and drafted
I
a
get
quarterback
that.
in the next draft.
I mean, I get that, but like at that point in time, like, what else do you do? I mean, you had Brock Purdy there; he's done well for them. He's
Has he done well for them though?
I mean, he took them to the NFC Championship game, didn't he?
Did he take them to the NFC Championship game?
I mean, regardless, the quarterback is the main person on the team, so regardless,
Yeah, he had a pretty good defense.
yeah. But I mean, it wasn't.
And he had Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle. Look what he's done without them.
Yeah.
Diddly squat. But Mac Jones went out there and made Kendrick Bourne look like Jerry Rice.
He didn't even have Ricky Pearsall this week.
No.
I know, because
He
he was
had-
my guy I forgot to take out of my fantasy league.
But yeah, he went out there and like I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell some Mac Jones because I have a bunch of Mac Jones listed right now because I bought a bunch out of quarter boxes for this main reason because I knew Purdy was gonna be out for an extended period of time, and I have not sold one of those Mac Jones because he
you
has
think-
so many cards and people are like, I can get
What about the rare
autographs of-
ones? What about the rare ones? Is
Exactly.
now the time to sell that $100,000 card that was bought in 2021?
You missed the boat.
But what if he? Let's just say, what if he was tempting out? He put it at 101,000. Do you think he could get it?
No, absolutely not.
What about 1,000?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, I think it's still sold. Was it sold for like last time it sold for 3,000 or it's sold for
it's
under
probably
10,
sold a couple
10,000.
times since then. Yeah.
Yeah,
But like those Mac Jones, like in a situation like that, I think you have to have like a Mac Jones Prism rookie auto, and to be able to make some money on that.
I feel like for the base or Prism base to move, you got to have like half a year probably. My guess of just great production for it to start to affect the lower ends of the market significantly.
I think this is a good debate here. So when you're digging through bargain boxes, I mean, when you have these new rookies that come out, maybe it could be the team that they're on or the system that they're in, or the extra pressure just get thrown in there when they're not ready. Like someone like Anthony Richardson, like could he potentially get picked up by another team or get traded and have another opportunity to play in the future? You have Mac Jones. This is probably going to happen with Bryce Young. Bryce Young's probably going to be going away sooner than later, and then maybe have another opportunity with the team.
I think with football, it's a different beast than it is with baseball. Because with football, those guys are priced like they're going to be the guy, no matter what, immediately when that product comes out. That's the problem with football, the football sports cards. That's why I always preach that baseball is hands down the best when it comes to flipping. Because when you get football, outside of Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy was a 7th round draft pick.
Last pick
Right?
in the entire draft. Yeah.
So it's like if you're drafted in the first, second, third round, like I'm curious to see what Dylan Gabriel's cards did after his performance because he had a
Well,
good
think of like
performance.
Tyler Shug. How do you say his name?
Shook.
Like
I
his
say
stuff,
Shook.
Shook. Like he's already priced. He has a certain price above probably what his obviously his production has been. He hasn't played, so like how well would he have to play? There's so much nuance to the football thing too, because you'd have to play so well quickly before the next crop of rookies come in and they're the hot guys that everybody are talking about. Because does anybody like if Desmond Ritter came back out of back from the grave, right, and just started playing, right? It would take? I mean, Geno Smith's stuff never recovered his cards, and he had
Look at
all
Sam
pro
Darnold.
seasons. Yeah, his stuff never recovered, and Sam Darnold was a hot player in the card market when he was a rookie, second year. You know what I
The
mean?
only one I think that's an outlier for that is Baker Mayfield because Baker is exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, Baker is Baker. You're exactly right. You have to have some. You can't just be. Yeah, you have to have some edge,
But
something interesting.
Baker was also he won the Heisman, right?
Yeah, and he was the
And
number
he's
one
number
draft
one
pick.
Darnold was a huge guy at UNC,
Yeah.
like a big time prospect.
Darnold was a number one pick.
But Darnold's a little bit more, just generic, I guess would be a word for it.
I mean, there's a
he's,
difference.
he's Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
But
he's
it's
Andy
different
Dalton.
being the number one pick overall, winning the Heisman compared to like you can't compare. Baker's in his own league by himself. You can't compare Baker to these other quarterbacks.
Why
Yeah,
not?
you're talking like
just
you're
told you
somebody
why.
who lives in the Tampa Bay area. That's
Because
the way you're talking.
he's a Heisman. So a lot of Heisman players are going to
Bruh,
have.
when Baker Mayfield was a backup at Carolina, his rookie cards were in the quarter box.
No, that's true. I'll give
It's
you that.
100% Baker is interesting. Baker
Yeah.
has a personality. I think and it doesn't hurt. I agree. It doesn't hurt that he has a Heisman and he was the number one pick. But I think
Well-
at this point, the number one pick thing, people don't care about at this point. They
No.
just, like, he already lost all that goodwill, I think, when he ended up in Carolina, was in the dollar quarter box, like Tim says. And then all the new hype he's gotten is his performance since then, I think.
So on the offseason here, Bryce Young, I mean, at the end of last year, Bryce Young came on strong. Like he looked like he had promise, at the end of the season. So on the offseason, I was picking up Bryce Young's like
Yeah.
$5 for $1, like rookies. So I loaded up on a ton of Bryce Young because, they drafted McMillan. I was like, oh, okay, he has more weapons there. It's going to be more opportunity, but he just hasn't produced. So going forward,
But it's not bad though. It's not like he's going to get
No, I
benched.
know that.
They've won like what two games in a row, 3 games in a row now since they started off bad.
I don't know if they won 2 in a row.
Here's an interesting example too. Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray, who hasn't played particularly great, let's say if he just next year he went to a different team or he's still on the Cardinals and he was a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro player, right? I don't think he would be nearly as hot in the card market as he would have been, as he was obviously because he was like during the boom. He was a 2019 rookie. But also, like, I don't think he could ever recover. It would be so hard to recover it unless, like, something crazy happened.
Yeah, there's
The
no
hype,
way
any
Kyler
level of
Murray's
hype.
ever going to be valuable
Any level.
again.
Like, he's on the Cardinals, and he's, like, lost all the rookie hype at this point. Or at least it's debatable that he has.
You'd have to win a Super Bowl and be Super Bowl MVP. Because look at, like, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is probably the most disrespected football card in the hobby. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I think that running backs and wide receivers and defense, I think all that is super undervalued in my opinion when it comes to football cards. Like, because, like, let's be honest, nobody cares about anybody unless they're quarterbacks or a wide receiver downtown. That's pretty much it. Like, you could probably get a Saquon Barkley rookie card right now for $1.
Yeah,
Right?
You could I think you can find them in boxes. I'm pretty sure I have recently.
CJ Stroud rookie cards are in the bargain boxes.
Yeah.
He just went out there and threw 4 touchdowns this week. He's
That's
been
what
to
I'm
the
saying,
playoffs
like-
every year as a quarterback.
Because it's more important that you have that rookie hype than if you're actually good most of the time, right? I mean, like, his stuff's 2 years old now, CJ Stroud. He threw if he threw 4 touchdowns and it was 2 years ago, right? Those rookie cards wouldn't be in the $1 box or $2 box. Exactly. So
All right, so earlier we talked about timing and talked about with the Cam from the Yankees and stuff like that. So turn that around to football and going through bargain boxes when you guys go to card shows. What do you guys look? I mean, are you guys trying to pick up backup quarterbacks or these former rookies that are good? I mean, they're 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, and just stashing them away and wait for their moment to come on and trying to unload them. I know it didn't work for you for Mac Jones, but I mean, is that typically part of your strategy?
I mean, for me, it is. Yeah. Like, I try to find value. Like, a lot of that is this numbered cards, though. Like, and I think let's say this. It is 1,000% easier to bargain box college football than it is pro football.
Oh yeah,
100%.
100%.
So like
college football is a lot like baseball at this point. It's similar at least.
Yes.
Because like if you are paying attention, which there are not nearly as many people paying attention to the college football market as they are the NFL market, right? If you're paying attention and you know that Rocco Beck's on fire, if you even know who Abu Sama is or somebody, like if you're paying attention at all, not saying that he's playing particularly great, but like if you're paying attention, there's a lot of stuff you can find in bargain boxes and flip immediately, let alone hold if you want.
Also, though, too, if people don't know, there's almost 4 times, actually more than 4 times as many teams, because you have 130 plus teams that you potentially have stars come out of. So
but it's also
it's
also interesting because I was editing a video this morning, and I bought a lot of college football cards, and I bought a Sorsby, who's having a fantastic year for the Cincinnati Bearcats, right? And I went to go take pictures of a screenshot of the comps to put in the video, and it's still a $3 card.
Yep.
So it's like some guys massive get this flow change of prices in college football, but some guys it doesn't hit.
I think it also, like you were saying, it's the bigger cards because I got a Sorsby at that Duval show, $10, and I did luck out because it was the number match.
Stealth one.
The stealth to 24 for $10, which is already a great deal in my opinion. And I got the number 1 out of 24, which is his jersey. I took that home, sold it I had a Sorsby collector on it right away, but it didn't get done in time because somebody else had bought it at pretty much my full ask at $55 within hours.
That's a nice.
I think when it comes to college football, and I would say one thing I learned from last year, doing a lot of prospecting and stuff like that, it's you can get autographs super cheap, base autos for $10, $5. Even the higher end players, you can get them for under $50 sometimes. And I think the better play is spending up a little bit for those QBs and those players and getting the autograph, because a lot of people just don't know. They'll price it one time, throw it in a box, and then that's it. That's
the big difference between college football and baseball prospecting. Is with baseball prospecting, a lot of times the autos are so unobtainable. Yeah. That the trickle-down effect to the lower-end numbered cards is a much more value and worth more money than the trickle-down effect on college football numbered cards from the drop-off from the auto. But, I picked up that Ruben Bain dog from University of Miami. I found that card on District for $11, auto to $2.99, and sold it. So I got it in the mail, listed it, and sold it the next day for $45. On the bay. So
if you're paying attention beyond the guys that are on every Heisman list, like the quarterbacks, if you're paying attention, because I've learned this a little bit moving to the South now, right? Like in Florida, is you could obviously Alabama college football is bigger than the NFL. I argue even Louisiana, Mississippi, and Florida. We have 3 teams in Florida, I think, and I think you're in Florida and Florida State are huge, huge. So if you can sell the defensive guys, you can sell guys that are making a difference at a decent price, and a lot of times it's similar to Leaf. People just don't know these players or they're not paying attention, and then you can get them inexpensively.
But then sometimes also, there's a name sometimes when I'm digging through content. This is where I got to get better at. There's names that I know that aren't names anymore, and I got to remind myself that. So I like Walker Howard, right?
Yeah, Graham Mertz.
Walker Howard, I'm I went
you know where he's at? I think he's at the University of Louisiana, Raging Cajuns.
He doesn't
know how I know that? You know how I know that? Same reason you do. I look him up because I'm is he still good? Because he was on LSU for a while.
He was on 5 different
here's another one
programs.
I got a bunch of these. Malachi Nelson. I have several of his autos.
I was a big Malachi Nelson guy, and he just got benched.
Yeah, he's at UTEP and he got benched, right?
Yeah.
No, he was at USC, went to Boise State, went to UTEP, and now he's benched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not working out for him.
No. I know we've all been there when you guys are digging through the bargain boxes, because I know Tim just showed us one the other day. have you guys were just quick going through? You threw player card in your pile because you quick looked at the name. You're like, oh, I know who Zachy. I think this is. I'll give you mine. Jalen Daniels, the quarterback for was it
Kansas?
He's playing great.
He's having a good year.
He's having a great year, bro.
But like last year when I was digging through bargain boxes, I was like, oh, Jalen Daniels. So I just threw it off the side. Not you just quick doing it. You know.
Mine was a little bit worse because I thought it was a Kurt Warner card numbered to 750, and it was Kurt Farmer or Kirk.
That's messed up though, because it was just a Rams quarterback from an early 2000s SP set. And it started with
Kirk Farmer.
Yeah, it started with a K. You just glance at it. I never heard of Kirk Farmer in my life. You could have put anybody's name on that, and I would have been just as confused.
It's your new holy grail that you keep in your PC now. That's who he is. All right.
Did you look him up? I think I looked him up. Is he like
an
insurance? Like he's got to be an insurance.
I will tell you, there's one guy that's like this though. That's really interesting, and I sold his card before. Kirk. Is it Kurt or Kirk? Kurt Burnkhardt. He played quarterback at University of Virginia, and he got drafted to the NFL. And he was never played though. He played as a backup at Green Bay. But he's huge
TikTok
on Twitter.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And he has his own football that he makes, and he does fantasy content and stuff like that.
He's also on TikTok and Insta. I think I've seen him a lot. I think I follow him on TikTok.
So, that's actually a big play too, because I know Cary, when we were at the Orlando card shop that one time digging through boxes, you found the guys from which podcast?
Bussin' with the Boys. I got
the Boys,
Taylor Lewin. Otto.
That's actually a play now, guys. If you guys are out there and you find stuff, for people that are on podcasts, people that are in the entertainment or also moved over there, that's a play sometimes.
It's at the right price because, I mean, I love Fred Taylor, and he's on a pretty popular podcast right now, but it's still tough. It's got to be a really trendy podcast, and you got to get it at the right price. It definitely helps move. If you find, you're not going to find a Fred Taylor auto at $1, but if you found one at a couple bucks, it might help you get the $10 or $15 or $20 that you can get for it quicker.
Well, look at Jason Kelsey. That's a good.
Oh, Jason Kelsey's a perfect example.
Example. I mean,
a guy that. There's so much about that though. He's on the podcast. Travis Kelsey's his brother. He was on the
Super Bowl.
The Eagles was a little bit of a
he doesn't have a lot of
but
cards.
outside of that.
Yeah. But he's a bigger than life character, and people just love him. I mean, they love him everywhere he goes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you find a Bob Golick card. Or is it Mike Golick? Whoever was on Saved by the Bell, the college years.
That's Bob Golick.
Bob Golick, yeah. So when I get a Bob Golick card, I'm thinking of Saved by the Bell, the college years, not football.
When I was at the National,
Zach Morris rookie card PSA.
Well, when I was at the National, I was walking around with Dawn, and we literally came to a table that had Saved by the Bell, the college years, a box for sale. And she goes, "Oh man, if Cary's here, he probably would have bought."
Dude, I don't know what it is about the college years. I just thought that's what college was going to be like or something. I don't know.
Is that why you got 3 degrees? Because you thought.
Yeah, I wanted to just have sun in my hair and just go to the coffee shop or whatever. Be friends with AC Slater. That's kind of what I wanted.
Well, speaking about college, do you guys see who Topps signed this week?
Was that a college hockey player?
College hockey player. So Gavin McKenna, 17-year-old hockey player, plays for Penn State, just made his debut and scored a goal in his first games. They sent him an NIL deal, but they were talk about him being, I guess, a first-round draft pick maybe in 2026. But what is Topps doing? Topps is now. You think Topps is going to go after the hockey license now and go after Upper Deck? They literally signed the top player.
That's they're trying to step on allegedly Upper Deck's turf with that.
Yeah. I mean, I found it very interesting because, earlier they were releasing hockey stickers because they didn't have the license for cards, so they're in the Topps now. The hockey.
Why don't they do the eminent, the big 8x10s of hockey? Do they?
No,
they probably can do that.
Yeah.
Those would do okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I found that it was interesting that they're doing that. So, we had a big drop this week, dude. I know Cary bought some.
So big, I even got in on it. That's when you know it's big. I actually bought some.
In on it. Then it would have been really big.
That would have been the ultimate. Everybody would have been in.
The internet would have been broken. If Tim would have spent money and got in a pre-order, whoo. But now the Topps flagship basketball, and I will tell you, I get in a lot of pre-orders for products and stuff like that. As you guys know, I like to buy a case occasionally and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've been known to dabble.
I could not get a case for this, and this is a good way for me to kind of figure out what's going to happen with the market because, dude, those things sold out so fast. The jumbos, the regular boxes, hobby boxes, so they sold out super fast. So I think it's going to be a pretty hot release, and it could just be because Topps is getting the basketball license back.
Did you guys see my post though about all the idiots on the internet who
Yes.
complained that the Topps cards look just like the baseball cards? the
Yeah,
basketball
exactly.
ones?
This is historically how it's been done, and that's exactly what I think we kind of want. I think most collectors kind of want like the standard Topps design to go across all Topps flagship products, right? Is that
I
what
don't know.
people want?
That's
I
let
guess
us know in
not.
the comments down below, guys. Do you guys want to have the standard, like the same exact design for across all sports for each year for Topps, or do you guys want something different? Because
I want to say something on this real quick too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Topps basketball. Topps should have always had basketball cards. They were one of the best basketball cards. All the iconic '90s stuff was
better than Upper
a lot
Deck?
of. Well, I was gonna say Upper Deck, Skybox, Fleer. They were all separate companies at the time too.
Yeah.
Top. My whole point going to the fact that everybody should always. I think there shouldn't be exclusive licenses, is what I'm saying. Top shouldn't have went away because Panini got it right in '09. And I think it's a disservice to the whole community overall that Panini is not going to be making basketball cards anymore either. We should have Topps. Upper Deck should be doing basketball cards. I understand that's not how business works.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm saying I'm excited for Topps because I don't feel like it should ever went away, if that makes sense.
I'm kind of curious. Now that you said that though, like what made that change?
Something happened in that era, like when Panini got the exclusive. There was something, because before that it wasn't. There was Upper Deck making basketball cards. So that was the era, and I'm sure maybe we can get somebody who knows the details.
I
of the
actually kind of
business.
know. I can tell you kind of what happened. So Upper Deck was doing some shady stuff behind the scenes with Yu-Gi-Oh! And they started to re-release Yu-Gi-Oh! Things that got sued by Konami, and they had a giant lawsuit with all that stuff. So that started going on. And then, they got busted for reprinting stuff without the license.
Yeah.
And so that happened. So they had a lot of controversy going on behind the scenes. They're doing a bunch of shady stuff. And then I think it was a perfect storm. Panini saw an opening and went in and made an exclusive offer. And
They just decided to muscle in and just say, we're going to give you an offer so massive you can't refuse.
And they didn't approach Upper Deck. Upper Deck didn't have a chance to even to counter or go anything like that. They literally stole the license right from underneath them. That's
It's so
pretty much-
interesting too, that era, because like we've had a whole generation almost since then. It's been 15 years or whatever. And I mean, I know we were all in it to some degree at that time, or at least I know Tim especially probably was more aware. Like nobody wanted Panini. Like I was upset that Topps went away. We had like a year where there wasn't even really basketball cards, if I remember right, 10, 11 or something like that. And then we got the Panini.
It was 12 because
and I remember
Prism came out in 2012. That was the first year for Prism.
It's been a while, but I vaguely feel like people did not like Prism. They didn't think it looked good. Now it's iconic. You know what I mean? Like that first year Prism or whatever.
Prism only became popular because of the COVID boom.
Yeah. It was something that like people did. I mean, like Topps Chrome aesthetically. So like I'm still of that age, being in this forever, that Topps Chrome is the standard. And I understand, but now there's a generation that loves the Panini. I get it. That's why I think like this is just, it doesn't help. I don't care about 10xing the hobby, like I've said before, in the sense that Topps wants to 10x the hobby. I believe all these companies should be involved. All these companies should be making license, and I understand that's not how business works, but it hurts us as consumers, as flippers, as resellers, as collectors that we don't have it.
Upper Deck innovated so much of the hobby. I mean, we have so much to say thank you to Upper Deck for everything they did with the patch cards and game used memorabilia in there and the autographs and everything they did over the years. I mean, the non-tampering packs, they get everything. Like that was all Upper Deck, you know what I mean? And everyone else piggybacked off that. But I agree with you. I think it's a shame that we don't have that. I think that we would have more innovation and we have more competition.
Could you imagine if there was EX 2000 basketball cards with modern players? Let alone
awesome.
like making advancements in what the set design is, but if they just did the throwback design to 96, 97, it would be insane.
So, going back to what you said, you want to know the story. Bryant Gray actually has a podcast. He used to work for Leaf.
That's right.
And
He told me about that.
Yeah, he actually did consultant work. He was actually working with Upper Deck at the time, and he told the whole entire story behind the scenes. That's how I learned about that, which is fascinating, actually. It's a fascinating story. But I think the thing that is most interesting for me is that we have LeBron James now in this top product. You know, he's in here now. We have him. I just wish we had Jordan. Like that's the one piece I feel like
but
just
here's the
missing.
thing. Like the Penn State player being signed, right? Is now that Upper Deck, you know, if they're producing cards, they're not going to have autos of that guy if he goes to the NHL or whatever. all this like exclusivity stuff is only hurting us because they're doing all this stuff, right? When if just everybody could make the product, and how about this? Let the best product win. We'll decide who's the best. It's competition, right? And I understand that's probably not what they want, but if you want to 10x the hobby, that'd be one way to possibly do it. I'm not saying I don't think we can 10x the hobby personally, but that'd be one way to grow it, right? Is have all these companies making great products and competing with each other.
No, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there. I mean, I figure if anyone's going to multiply the hobby going forward, it's going to be Fanatics, just with their reach and their mailing list and everything else they've done throughout the years through jerseys and all the other products that they have sold. So I think we'll be in good. We're in the best hands possible. If it had to go to one company to try to expand the hobby,
it shouldn't have to go to one company.
I agree with you 100%. But I'm saying is, if it had to go to one company, I think it's in the right hands. That doesn't mean it's what's best for us, though. At the end of the day,
there's always going to be cards. We don't need Fanatics anymore than we need Upper Deck or Panini. I agree. They'll come and go. I feel like I could be wrong. Ultimately, just we need and Topps is. I mean, the Topps basketball stuff looks cool. And then we were talking about the Topps holiday stuff too.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, on October 7th, which is actually the day after this podcast, actually day before this podcast drops, they're doing pre-orders for Topps holiday basketball already. So that means that we're getting Topps holiday basketball as pre-order, which I don't think they did that in the past, right?
I noticed something too. Not that it's that crazy that I noticed it, but their little ornament cards and stuff, it says player worn on them, which is they've listened, I feel like, because it seems like Topps does game use stuff for people who have been in the league, but the rookies historically were the only ones that would do player worn. They'd make them. There's that famous Mark Ingram picture where he had like 50 jerseys on so that they could cut it up as player worn. So player worn for rookies is an improvement. I don't know exactly what Panini was doing. The back was always kind of vague. I didn't really understand if it was or wasn't player worn or what it was. But now it's clear that they're player-worn jerseys, which I think is a plus.
They were event-worn. That's what Panini did. So they would literally there's a picture online of someone wearing like 10 jerseys and literally just taking off the jerseys as he's like signing at the event. So, but I don't know. I am actually excited about the Topps holiday because can we talk about the Panini and Don Ross holiday cards? It's been an absolute nightmare because you've gotten the tins, I've gotten the tins. And I opened up my first tin last night, and you get 3 packs per tin. I think like 7 cards per pack, and every single card corner is nicked, bent, or damaged. And all 3 packs.
It's insane how that product came out that way, and how like
why are we putting it in a tin? Just put it in a box.
It's a holiday tin. Once again, why are we releasing holiday product in October, like October 1st?
Listen, if it was up to my wife, Christmas tree would already be up.
I get it. But let me celebrate Halloween first. I love Halloween. Like, it upsets me.
Well, if you want Halloween cards, you just got to go to Walmart any time of the year. They've had those haunted hoops and haunted football all year long. They just keep restocking them.
Like, I would be more enticed to buy those if they had Reese's peanut butter cups inside of them, because that's what I feel like they belong in those packaging.
I agree.
That's all we need. Chocolate melted over our cards now.
Dude. Listen. I would 1,000% buy more cards if there was food inside of them.
Did you buy a lot when they had gum inside of it?
Yeah, but I mean, I want food. I want to be able to eat it.
Gum isn't food. You can eat gum.
I don't really
gum is a food product.
I only chew mint gum because if I chew any other flavor, I want to eat it, and you're not supposed to eat that stuff.
So
you just gotta wait 7 years to poop it out. That's all.
Ooh, what did you guys think about that pancake burger I put in the other group chat?
Oh, yeah.
It was crack, bro. Crack.
I don't know. I don't like sweet and savory as much. I would try it, but I don't like having syrup on a savory.
I am the exact same way.
I like spicy.
I don't like syrup on my bacon. Don't like syrup on my eggs. Like, only thing I want on my eggs, if it's on a sandwich, I can put mayonnaise on the sandwich, right? But the only thing I want on my eggs is hot sauce, salt, and pepper. Right,
yeah.
I hate people who put ketchup on eggs are weird, but like I don't like syrup on my bacon, don't like syrup on my eggs, but it just something about it that just hit, like it hit, bro, it hit. They had the yolk dripping from the sunny side egg on the plate, like just like smothered in all of that like gooey.
There's got to be a channel for you just describing food. Just do 2 minutes. You just have food in front of you and you just describe it.
Tim's erotic food porn.
That's basically his OnlyFans is him describing foods with his shirt off. This is hitting.
Just
Sunny
rubbing
side
it-
eggs.
just rubbing his hair all
All
over
over.
him. Yes. Oh yeah, I can see it. With his big homeless beard just hanging off. Like, yeah. All right. Well, this podcast went right down the.
Nah, dude,
But-
this is good.
So, if you
content.
guys want more of this awesomeness, make sure you guys join our membership. For those that don't know, we do offer a membership. You guys got some behind the scenes information. If you guys want to help support the podcast for $1.99, you become part of the Bargain Box crew. And then we also have a level for $4.99 for the value boxes and $9.99 for I want to buy a case. Want to be in the elite level like me, who like to buy the cases. And we do drop exclusive footage on there.
Yeah.
Tim has an updated video on there right now on baseball prospects. Cary's going to be dropping a video here in the next week or two about why I'm
boxing
doing
or something.
some bargain boxing and teach
Yeah.
you guys some little tips and tricks behind the scenes.
I want to just quickly interrupt your shill job real quick, and talk to you about how good you are at buying cases. You opened up another box of Cactus Jack because that was a great purchase, correct?
Yes, but let's talk about that. We need to shout out our members here first, my friend.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk all about that.
Okay,
You guys-
you
My
got- the new
apologies.
members deserve their own special
Yes,
shout
we
out.
got a
They
new
do.
member, Max PC1,
Oh,
new
yeah.
member for the buy case level, and then we have Shaky 94 value box and
Love it.
Chubby Uncle Rico.
Shout
Those
out
are the ones
Chubby
the last
Uncle
2 weeks,
Rico.
man.
Chubby
That's my
Uncle
guy.
Rico.
Yeah.
Shout out all of them.
Yeah.
So let's go through them.
Oh, who
Ginger
else?
Card Kingdom.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ginger
that's
Card
one.
Kingdom.
Yep,
Dusty
guys,
Box.
give him a follow on YouTube,
Yeah,
please.
He's-
Dusty Box Treasures.
That's the other one. Yep.
Buster Chestnut.
Buster
That's-
Chetnut.
You're right.
I expect at least 12 comments down below Buster.
Oh,
And
it's a slow
then
day for him, huh?
we got Jordan Brown.
That's
yeah,
right.
what's up, Jordan?
That's right.
We got Frank the Tank.
That's
Frank the
right.
Tank.
And we got Lodi.
Yep.
Is he still
Lodi
Lodi?
Sports.
Is he still
Yeah,
a member?
he's still
Yeah,
there.
he's still
there.
in Lodi. Yeah, Lodi
And
Sports
he's
Bar.
one of the OGs, one of the very first ones actually.
And then we still got
you got one more.
what about my guy Todd Carto?
There we go. You got him.
Cartel.
You got him. All right,
Love it.
Cary. Now, if you like to bury me, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like you're buying indiscriminately cases, no thought, no, I don't know, no research. I'm assuming,
No.
And then you just said, tell me, like you continue to you could sell these at a loss unopened. You know that you're just opening
All
them
right,
anyway
so-
and getting burned every time.
What he's talking about is the Cactus Jack. I released a video. This might be the worst unboxings that I've done in a long time. And I opened two boxes of Cactus Jack, and it was really, really bad. I did research. I did look into it beforehand. And, what they did, they were a Fanatics exclusive originally. Then they were WrestleMania exclusive. And those small boxes were buying for 400, selling for like $1,000 a piece, 800,000 bucks. So I just assumed that the hobby box would be a good buy. So I bought 5, and then I acquired 3 more. So I actually have 8 hobby boxes, and they have all dropped. They were at $450 a piece, and now they're selling for like $300 a piece, and they just keep going down. And I have opened up.
I'll tell you, I saw them in person. They look like absolute.
They look so
They
dark.
don't look good at all.
dark.
They look so dark.
Yeah.
Now, we'll tell you, they have a white refractor that looks absolutely outstanding. That you get like one of those per hobby box, and it looks they add like the white to the background and it makes the black just pop. It looks
Yeah.
really, really cool.
I'm sure there's definitely some like different
like,
variations that look good with that.
But man,
design.
I'm getting just beat up left and right in this, man. I opened up another box last night to do some shorts, and let's just say I didn't hit one card over $50, and I'm like, ugh. So at this point in time, do I just go down with the ship, or do I just try to sell them at a loss? Like, I don't know what to do.
I feel like a good name for another card channel, if you want to use it, maybe just you only do rips, is Bangtown Cards, because you're going to just shout bang all the time. It's a good name. If somebody hasn't taken that, you guys can have it.
Bangtown Cards. Okay, I remember that.
Whatever. Just have Bangtown in it. Would that not work? It would. Bang! Yeah.
Welcome to Bangtown, USA.
So listen, when I went to Walmart the other day, I actually went underneath the shelf and tried to see what was like hidden underneath there.
Oh, you're one of those.
Dude, I found a box of Optic basketball from 2024-25 hiding under there. I ripped it last night, and I pulled a super short print.
Mythical.
Mythical Kevin, Durant.
So you found this. They don't have a 25-26 Optic. So you found hidden this year's Optic.
It was underneath that, and I found 2 of those Don Ross football holiday boxes that were hidden underneath the shelf.
Yeah, that's the ones you want. You want the ones that have fallen on the ground and are underneath the shelf, because they're even safer in that tin.
But that gets to me. But like, yes. But how many people like actually like? I've been in stores. I've watched people actually hide packs and boxes,
Dude.
like, underneath so they can come back and buy them later on.
So we also do picking, and we've been and bought stuff at stores and stuff, right? Kmart went out of business in Utah like 7-8 years ago, 9 years ago at this point.
Longer than that.
And it was a while ago. Maybe it was like 10 years ago. And they were moving the shelves out and getting everything ready. And they were discounting stuff 70, 80, 90%. They had moved the shelves, I guess. And behind one of the shelves, I think this is what it was, because it was actually up. I think it was probably hidden. It fallen. It was like a 2008 or 2007 like Star Wars figure, new in the box. And I think they were still selling it at like the retail price. Plus cool. 80% off, and it was obviously worth more because those were hard to find. People opened them. So like that's interesting. That can happen. You can find stuff hidden that's been there forever.
I happened to be once. I found 2 cello packs of, what was that, 2018 Prism basketball.
Dude.
Oh, wow.
That's the Luka year.
When did you find them? Like what year?
2018.
It's probably like 2 years ago I did that.
Wow. You found 2 years ago? Like,
yeah.
Did you just sell them unopened?
I sold one pack and opened one.
So you sold one and then you ended up with a Mo Bamba Prism base.
Literally exactly what I pulled.
So you made money and lost a lot on another one.
Oh, that's funny. Well, speaking about losing money, it looks like the repacks are maybe coming to an end on Whatnot here.
Who told y'all that the death of repacks was coming?
I don't think it's the death. I just think
it's definitely the death.
It's not. It's
definitely the death.
No. So
who told? I just say it one more time. Who told y'all the death of repacks was coming?
We're saying death.
Everybody
right?
on the internet.
Are you saying death or deaf?
Deaf.
Yeah, they're gonna go deaf. You're not gonna be able to hear one thing.
I told y'all this repacks shindig was gonna be crashing.
Is this the death of like just random dudes putting cards in a bubble mailer and putting numbers on them?
Yes,
checklist.
Just wait until Pete Heg's is running the repacks for the world. That's what. Right. That's the path we're going down here.
We're probably going to want to stay out of politics on this
one. So those that don't know, Whatnot made an announcement that starting November 3rd, all repacks have to be reviewed and approved by an independent third-party auditor, and will include, among other things, and checks to ensure. So it has to be a clear separation between the manufacturer and the seller. It has to be professionally sealed surprise products. This includes both business entity separation, personal separation, and physical separation. And manufacturers publish an online, publicly visible checklist for products and series levels to ensure that checklists do not include comparison pricing of items. More details, information around the specifics of the audit will be provided by a third-party auditor for any manufacturer that reaches out to the stage. So what that means is they have a list of approved auditors right now that Whatnot has. And you have to literally send your products to a third party, have them repackage it, and have it sent back to the.
So what I want to know is who's the third party? PSA, Jeff Wilson.
No, Jeff
Backyard
Wilson.
Breaks.
Nope, Jeff Wilson actually uses PSA to do his. So you can't do your.
Who's making money off of this? Is what I want to know. It's Whatnot. Who's making money? Because
do we know who the third party approved auditors are? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, they have a list of approved auditors that you.
Do you see the list? Is it showing
it? They just announced it, so you would have to reach out to them. You have to go through. You have to apply and go through the process, and they have a list that you can do.
Because I read most of it. Now, albeit it was the middle of the night, there was a lot of 15-letter words in there. But like, it seems like a lot of fine print. Who's sketchiness going on in this whole thing?
So. I will tell you this. My dad. Remember I told you my dad likes to buy into like repacks and stuff like that. Yeah. My dad showed me a guy on Whatnot, which I thought was really cool. They sent their stuff off to a third party. They're already doing this, so they sent to a third party, got the packages back, and then they had percentages of what you could hit on screen on the different categories. So like it tell you like your percentage of hitting, a card in this level. And they're like 6%, 4%, 5%, like 8%. So I will say it made me feel a lot more comfortable. If he didn't buy anything, we were just watching at that time. But like, if I was to buy it, I would want to buy into a repack like that because, listen, regardless if you buy wax open or if you buy in a repack, it's still taking a risk to get in there. And Topps and everything else is already pretty much doing repacks. When they do the buyback program, they have an autograph card, they put it in the package. You're buying a chance at a card. At least this one, you have a chance to know what's going to be in the boxes and what your percentages of getting that now going forward. So I think it's a good thing.
Listen, the attempt here is good, right?
Yes.
The attempt is good. But let's be honest. it's still super shady. So this is my question. Selling professionally sealed surprise products. Okay, first of all, what is categorized as a professionally sealed?
It has to be sent off to a third party. It has to be actually boxed or bagged and sealed, like literally, like.
But
It has to be by their approved people too, so it can't just be
by
like
their
some
approved people.
Yeah.
So somebody's getting a contract here to be approved by whatnot, right? So somebody's making money right there.
100%.
Okay? But what makes them a professionally sealed surprise
sealer,
product
you mean?
company?
So there are already companies out that do stuff like this.
Who?
I'm trying to explain to you. Give me a second. So they like McDonald's had to do this when they did like their like when they do like their games, you know, with like the McDonald's like game Monopoly games.
Which
yes,
is
I
a
know
fraud.
there's a fraud in the past of that, but I'm just saying is like, but there's third party companies that go through this stuff, which they have randomizers and all this other stuff they go through that they do the professional do that. Topps uses a third party auditor that comes through to check it and make sure all their stuff is in alignment and that make sure their stuff is legit.
So Backyard has to send their products to a third-party company to package them and send them back
When they're doing like their
in
flamethrowers
their
and
own
stuff.
packaging.
Yeah, they can have their own custom packaging.
Isn't the
and
stuff they're
like that.
doing with GameStop and stuff? Isn't that already? Don't they already
Yes.
send it off to somebody?
I think they do.
I think. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but yeah.
That's
So
what I'm
my
saying.
whole
There's,
thing is think about how much more money these people are going to have to spend now. Because you're going to have to pay. Who pays the third-party company?
No, but if it's going to have to be professionally done, wouldn't that mean it's going to be? We're going to get things that have quality now, like
Yes.
not just random dudes putting stuff in a envelope and just hoping you get something, right?
So
Isn't that good,
Tim,
probably?
I think the point you're missing is not so much that yes, someone's going to get paid through the contract. Someone's going to have to. You made to pay extra now getting repacks, but wouldn't you rather pay extra money getting a repack, knowing that you're not going to get ripped
No,
off?
I'm not worried about me because I'm not
I
paying
understand
shit
that.
to get in a repack.
I get that. Yeah, but you buying the brakes. Like
I'm
you bought the
talking.
brakes
I'm
and stuff
talking
like
about.
that.
I'm talking about the repack business.
I understand
The
that.
people who are selling repacks, their bottom line is now going to be adjusted because now they have to incorporate the cost of sending their repacks out to third parties.
Sure, absolutely. It's
So
cost of doing business.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you why all of this matters in the death of repacks.
I don't
Because
think
people aren't going to be able to just go free willy now with buying their repack product, right? Because now you're losing the money that you were making before is not going to be the same amount of money that you were making.
Do you think this could affect then theoretically like card prices, right? Like if there's less people out there buying for repacks, right? Or is a lot of this market of flipping downtowns, is it run by the bigger companies, the bigger repack companies that are already doing this? Like they already have the auditing and all that.
there are a lot of people and whatnot that already do have auditing and had that stuff in place. That's why I was like, when Jeff Wilson came out and he made this video saying now, yeah,
he's
it's all
taking
because
credit for
he's taking
this
full
too,
credit
by
for
the
this.
way.
And there's people and whatnot that were doing it before he did it. So like that's why I don't understand. You know, people were already doing this, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Fanatics Live, I think they had a thing in place where you had to go through maybe a third party to do that stuff on there originally. I don't know.
So
but,
this is the other thing too. I have a question about. So
Yeah.
how are we supposed to know that after these companies receive the items back from the sealing auditor companies that they don't open them and reseal them?
we don't on that. That's the same difference as when you buy a box of cards or someone. How you know they didn't open it and reseal it? Then
Every
too.
time I go to the flea market and buy a pack, everybody's like, "Oh, somebody resealed that pack. You got nothing."
Yeah,
You know,
I
so
mean,
there's always, people who have done theoretically that kind of stuff in the past.
Here's an interesting. So because I dabble in breaks, I did go on there and look for breaks and stuff like that, and they have like Topps, Panini, like other companies, Leaf, but I didn't see like On It on there. I didn't see other companies that were approved to do mystery packs or box openings. So like you would have to apply to get like I think to do On It, or if you're going to do something else other than some of these bigger companies now to do box breaks on there too. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
So this other thing too is if I was you, I would not buy in any any repacks between now and November 3rd on whatnot, because I will tell you right now, the absolute worst of the worst are going to be going out the door between now and November 3rd, because all these companies who have been shilling these horrible repacks are now going to have to figure out a way to get rid of all those disgusting repacks that they have sitting on their shelves for the next month until they are quote unquote regulated. Also, imagine all the people that are going to be leaving Whatnot and going to go sell their nasty repacks on with their, shout out to Eno Benjamin with all their Eno Benjamin Chronicle rookie card autos,
ASU
CVC
legend.
10s.
I saw a comment, speaking of that, like going somewhere else, I saw a comment, and I could foresee this happening.
TikTok.
TikTok. There's already so many so much stuff going on.
Who's
in TikTok.
that? There's a weird guy on TikTok that does a lot of stuff. What's his name? Chips Rips or something like that?
Chips Rips, yeah. There's a couple dudes who are huge on TikTok.
That guy looks like the worst of the worst.
I'm like, I would imagine TikTok is going to have, regulated at some point as well, hopefully. But like, yeah, TikTok. I wouldn't want to be doing it on TikTok or buying on TikTok personally, unless maybe it was a single card show.
Yeah, I have 3 questions with this. Number one is like, is this going to be a temporary thing, or are we going to see a trickle down effect where it's that when we go to car shows, are we going to see less people buying now going forward, or is that just going to be temporary for the next month or two? I can see car prices, dropping or having less people buy at car shows because these, they have to figure out this whole system. I mean, a month's not a lot of time to figure this out. You know what I mean? So that'd be my first question. I
don't think it's going to affect card prices much because the problem is you got to think like this. Most of these people who are buying stuff for repacks, they're buying it all out before the general public can even get into the card shows.
Okay.
So like most of those people now, regular Joes can buy those cards.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So, we said that there's going to be, I think it's good. It's going to remove a lot of bad people from Whatnot, like the bad sales like Cary was talking about and stuff like that. But are we going to start to see these big, like, are we going to get these companies start to become the Walmart now of like repacking? Like, are we going to start to see like, we're going to lose a lot of like the low end people, but are now those people that were buying those low end breaks or repacks, are they going to start moving to some of these bigger companies now going forward?
If they have a way to make them, like meaning like if there's a process which they say there's approved and they're willing to do the work, then they can do it, right?
But there's a lot of people that aren't going to do that because they're just running out of their house. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is like, we're going to start seeing a lot of shift of maybe a big separation between sellers.
A lot of these bigger breakers were at some point running out of their house, and then
I get that.
You want to know what's really funny? Sorry to interrupt.
No.
So at the end of the whole like breakdown provided by Whatnot, it gives you the opportunity to say, was this article helpful? Yes or no. It says 7 out of 38 people found this helpful. So 31 people, which would be me, because I read this and it makes zero sense to me. Like I can't decipher it at all. Like it is so like it feels like somebody sat down with a table of shiesty lawyers and whipped up this table chart for everybody to make it seem like they're doing something good, and it makes zero sense.
Well, here's my question: is what happened behind the scenes that all of a sudden out of nowhere, Whatnot's like, hey, we're gonna roll this out. So
they may have been working on this for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, was it because they're potentially getting sued? Was there a potential lawsuit behind the scenes? Was
1,000%?
Was there a politician that family member got pissed off and got ripped off? And that
but do you remember the Bleacher Hits scam or Whatnot?
There's so many scams. So
yes, okay. So the Bleacher Hits scam or Whatnot was they pulled a card for somebody, and then that card, quote unquote, got lost in the mail.
Oh yeah.
And then that card resurfaced in one of Bleacher Hits repacks.
Yep.
So it's like this is the thing that's crazy is that what's going to happen. This is the two things that are going to happen here, and I can guarantee you this. Number one, corporate takeover of repacks.
Yep.
Okay, you're gonna have like a table of like 5 companies that are producing repacks, and then you're gonna have breakers and streamers buying all their repacks from these companies, right?
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen. Number 2, what's gonna happen is those people are gonna start buying their repacks from these corporate repack companies, and they're gonna start tampering with them, knowing that they're not gonna be the ones to get the blame because these repacks have been authenticated through a third party. And there's going to be no way for anybody to know because they're going to be like, I just got this back from the third party. I opened it on screen. This is what you see. This is what you get. And somebody's going to be like, oh, that's not on the authorized checklist. And they're going to be like, well, that's not my fault. I got it from the third party. authenticator or auditor or whatever.
Well, wouldn't they be able to
fancy-
say then? Wouldn't they be able to say, since that card isn't on the checklist and it was all that it's obviously been tampered with?
Yeah, but then who tampered with it? They don't. There's no evidence of who tampered with it. Did the people who bought it tamper with it? Is there somebody at the auditor?
But I mean, if
that's
that was
tampered with it?
consistently happening with somebody buying these, wouldn't that make you think that it was them theoretically doing the tampering?
I think the part that you're missing is they have to open these up on screen. So like if you're
If that
tampering with
consistently happened, wouldn't you as a buyer go like, something's fishy with what's going on here?
And that buyer would have now buyer protection because there's a list that doesn't have that. So that guy has a case to go to
And
Whatnot
then
and
think
get a
about
full
like
refund and
this.
everything
Think
else
about like
then.
this. There's
Whatnot
no
would
way
be aware of this happening and they could
if
get kicked off.
if everybody's getting their cards from these professionally sealed repack companies,
They're not
right?
getting the cards from there. That's incorrect. They're buying the cards themselves, sending the cards to them to sell to.
But
What
they
Tim's
have to
saying
be
is people won't-
professional. They have to be professionally sealed.
I think-
And randomized.
I think
Right.
what Tim's saying too is like that's going to be a difficult for a lot of people to do. So they're just going to buy the repacks from these companies and then sell the repacks.
Yeah,
like,
and
like
they're-
whoever.
how's anybody going to be able to keep up with the checklist? Who's auditing the checklist?
They're not buying them from a company right now. They're taking their own cards, sending those cards to PSA or sending them to this third party. They pre-package their cards they sent to them and then provide a checklist.
But we're talking about like in the future, couldn't companies just make a bunch of these and then sell them out kind of like boxes of a card? Like
no
Topps
difference
basketball?
in what Topps is doing now.
Yeah, but
you know?
instead of it being it's like a surprise
So
set.
what I did see on the one of them, it said that they would break down the different series. So if that was the case, there may be only 1,000 cards in this series or something like that, and then this is the chance of stuff you would get from this series.
How many separate people do you think are doing repacks on Whatnot right now?
I mean, Whatnot
Thousands, right?
Whatnot just had an evaluation of $5 billion. That's what the company's worth. $4.9 billion. So I think it's a lot higher than what you think because sports cards is the number one selling.
If we want to, guys, by the way, if we want to pull our money together and get Whatnot, that means we would only need $5 billion more dollars,
yes.
and then we can get it.
Do you know how many cases I can get if I own Whatnot?
But just listen. Though, how many people do you think are doing?
You know how many
repacks
Looney
on
Tune
Whatnot?
blasters you could get with that?
I mean, if you go on Whatnot right now, I bet you there's probably 6,000 people live, some in that ballpark.
How many of those 6,000 people do you think are going to be able to apply to become? What the hell are they calling them now?
surprise back sellers, stuff like that?
Yeah, sellers of professionally sealed surprise products.
So
it's
it's
bullshit.
but
I'm just
so-
going to
Can
say
see
it right now. This
Can you
whole
see
thing
the
is
Whatnot
bullshit.
jerseys next year at the National with that on it? Surprise set authorized.
So there's a reason why they said they had to put surprise pack because actually you may know. So we all do reselling. There's someone in the reselling community named Daily Refinement, and Daily Refinement came out a video yesterday saying how his account on Whatnot got suspended because he was doing surprise packages for like stones, for purses, and all this other stuff, like stones, like crystals and like other stones.
That
like
guy's
that.
Well, Daily Refinement is from
I
the
don't-
West Coast, so
listen.
crystals are like the stones and stuff.
Yeah.
If you guys want to sit here and bash us for being Gary V friends and supporters and lovers of Gary V, right? Because he's a grifter. You guys have no idea what real life grifters are because
Legal reasons,
is a
allegedly
real-life
to all
grifter.
this, but allegedly to everything we're saying, but also
Yes.
like he was kicked off eBay, right? He was kicked off. Like there's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
what
that's
about
happened in the
Supreme
past.
Cool Kick guy, whatever his
Cool
name
Kicks?
is?
Yeah,
He got that dude's a clown to begin with. You guys are idiots if you're buying stuff from these idiots online.
does this mean
in
I
the
get to
first
stop
place.
seeing those ads? Like every time, like I'm on YouTube, I think it is. I see the Cool Kick ads where he's like selling something for $1 and it goes for $10 or something.
So
You
for
ever
those
seen
who
those
don't
ads?
know, he's one of the biggest shoe sellers on Whatnot. And during-
730 something thousand followers.
No, it was
on
900
Whatnot.
something thousand. I think he
Has a lot of followers. Yeah.
No, but
Guess who he did? Guess who he did a live stream with?
Oh, I know.
The biggest grifter of all the grifters, Joe Hollywood.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, this guy was live during his show, and the LAPD raided his show, came into his building and arrested him, and they confiscated, I think, like $900,000 allegedly of stolen shoes, of Nike shoes that he said he bought
they
from Mr.
said
Fire.
this is all alleged, but let's just say they said it was they had bought real shoes, but that the people had gotten them. Like I heard that maybe possibly they got them off trains or something. So it was what was it, illegally sourced stuff, but that was real. And then
they fell out the back of a truck, pretty much what they're saying, so they got, but can you imagine going live and having the cops show up to your place and like,
well, I mean, hopefully
you see that video, they're like,
bail money with the content.
Yeah.
No, they got a lot of money. There was a video where they said they did like 25 to 50 million a year. In sales.
Yeah, but those are like the Amazon guys who will say they made 25 million and they spent
the profit margin is
$9 million.
Negative. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Dude, I was on a call earlier today, and with some people that were saying how much they're doing, like $100,000 in sales a day, $150,000 in sales a day for like doing breaks and other stuff. It's nuts. Like,
I got a
they also
business
have multiple
proposal.
channels going and stuff.
I got a business proposal for you guys. I feel like No Banger should have a repack. Obviously, it should be called Bangtown. I don't even really want to do it. I just want to have a product called Bangtown that we sell.
I think that's probably
seriously. Just come over to dibditcards.com, guys. Why are you even bothering with shopping anywhere else? Just shop at dibditcards.com.
We don't have a lot of. We're very careful too with everything. We don't have a lot of people we're allowing to break. We're slow rolling as slow as we can.
Tim, you're gonna be live tonight, aren't you?
Yep. I'll be live tonight.
You'll be live. I'll be live.
Hopefully with Cary, maybe. We have to wait and
I might
see.
be at Epcot. I don't know what's happening, but I need to do.
If you're going on a date night with Dawn, that is understandable. Just no more Mickey Mouse orgies with Dave. Okay?
I did the trifecta last week of going to Florida theme parks. I went to Universal, I went to Epcot, and I went to SeaWorld, which, SeaWorld is an interesting place.
Yes.
So we're assuming that Backyard Breaks is not going to have to do this, right? That's our assumption.
I think they're already doing it. They already have the thing to send it off to. But Tim will be live tonight, guys, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
I'm not done shitting all this whatnot.
But that's fine. You can do that. But we need to say you have your live show tonight. So if you guys come out, buy some singles, and then I'll be live at 9 p.m. I think I'm doing a baseball break tonight. We're going to change it up a little bit. We've been doing football each week, but since it's baseball playoffs, we're going to run a baseball break tonight. Probably maybe just random spots, and we'll have some fun with it. But we do have a question though, from your favorite people, the Spotifyers, Tim.
Shout out to Spotify gang.
There you go.
What?
I am Bengal fan. Wanted to know what are
Is he
your
from
guys,
Bangtown?
No. What are your guys' websites for buying if interested? So I guess what websites you have to buy. So this goes back to what you said earlier, how you bought a card on District and then you flipped it later on eBay. So what are some opportunities or what are some places that you like to buy? Because I like to shop on multiple platforms. So what about you?
If they sell cards, I'll buy cards.
Exactly. If they're selling on Poshmark, he's buying them.
What are some of the places that you go to look for cards? If you're gonna buy online?
District.
Okay. Who on District though? So you're in Dibdit Cards. You look at Dibdit Cards. Who else?
Yeah.
Midwest Breaks.
I literally just go to district.com, like the District homepage.
You could search it, and then it would be the card could be on Dibdit. It could be on Midwest. It could be on Pat Pulls, whatever. I forgot what his is called.
So like I found that's how I found the Ruben Bain card. Like I was just like, oh, let me just start searching for some of these, and then I found it for $11 all in. I got that card for and sold it for $45. So yeah, so District collects.
Collects is one, yeah.
I used to do a lot of Macari, but Macari is just like, so I don't really mess with Macari anymore because a lot of times people don't ship their stuff from Macari.
Cary.
Ship my stuff. Shut up.
So like I used to do a lot of Macari, but Macari is weird too because if you go to Macari and you try to search cards, I'd say 7 out of 10 times cards on Macari are like extremely overpriced. Like it's weird. I don't know what that is, but a lot of that stuff on Macari is overpriced for sourcing.
My tip for sourcing on Macari, also beyond the fact that a lot of them may be overpriced, is try to look at when they posted it too.
Yeah.
If it's a card that was put up 3 days ago, then they're probably going to ship it out.
Yeah,
but there's cards because there's cards that are there 6, 7, 8 months.
I'm bad because I stopped delisting my stuff on Macari.
Yeah,
I actually got an offer today.
Yeah, and if you didn't delist it and it's sold, like that happens a lot. I feel like with card people because they go in and out of Macari. Like sometimes they're interested, sometimes they're just forget about it completely, and then they sell the cards, and then
And I still source a ton on
I mean, eBay is still king for like sourcing.
Early morning auctions. I like get up at like 6, 7 in the morning, and I look and see who made a mistake and ended their auction at 7 in the morning instead of 7 at night.
I do a lot of whatnot sourcing. I still do.
I used to, but the problem with sourcing on whatnot is the shipping.
Yeah, you honestly, if you're buying on whatnot, you buy a card, I feel like at that point you're committed to sticking around to that auction because you want to maximize shipping discounts.
But then you could end up paying, like, if somebody doesn't have it capped, you could end up paying like 15 Panini point prices for shipping on some of those whatnot streams. So like that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know, like I'm so heavy on card shows now that sourcing online is if like I know I'm not gonna get to a card show for 2 weeks, or if like like, there's something that I have in my mind. Like I bought a Sorsby this morning on eBay for $3. I bought it, but I also saw an auto that was $3, and I went and the shipping was the auto was listed at $5, but the shipping was $7. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
That's why you got to use the standard envelope, my friend. That's where it pays off.
I'm not selling it.
I know, but you do sell your cards at $10 and with a $7 or $5 shipping, whatever.
Yeah, but you're gonna get your card.
But I'd say, I agree with Tim. I'd say 98% of my card buying is card shows and card shops in person.
But they're asking about online. That's the question.
Yeah. So no, I'm just saying.
Don't do it. If you want to buy your cards online, go to dibditcards.com. That's the only answer.
I would say. I mean, I do like Whatnot. I think you can find some good deals on there. eBay's king in the castle, though. I used to, one of my tricks for eBay, like back in the day, was misspelling people's names on the search before the eBay would do the correct. I would find a ton of cards super cheap like that, especially when I was like going to the Eagles camps and like stuff like that, get autographs. I would find a ton of that stuff back in the day, but I think eBay's the one for me. I mean, the cool thing with like comp scene stuff, like you can literally buy it and just keep it and relist it at the same time too if you wanted to. So there are. I mean, truth be told, there's a lot of places to buy and sell cards. So like, just go online, check out sites, check out Dibdit Cards if you don't mind, and then check out all the other spots and find some deals. They're really everywhere if you look hard enough. Yeah, I think you're right, man.
I always say that, like, if people don't have a good card shop, because I hear that a lot. I don't have a good card shop, which I would debate. You just need to go a little bit farther away and drive a little longer. But if you could do this only sourcing online, that also includes like making a presence online. Get on Instagram, make deals. You know what I mean? Go to Discords. There's a lot of places to make deals.
Discords is really interesting too. There's a lot of people that Twitter too. You can find a lot. You can do a lot of card shopping on Twitter.
If you have a desire, you want cards to sell, and you have some money to buy cards with, you can find cards.
Public disclaimer, though. Please, if you buy anything from like Instagram, Discords, Twitter, pay by PayPal goods and services.
Goods and services. Don't
goods
do
and services only. Do not do friends and family. I don't care. Offer to pay the fees, whatever you have to do. That's the only buyer protection you have. Unless you know the person and you trust them, then you can do
even
friends and family.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
trust
just
anybody.
protect yourself.
Except for these two guys. I trust these two guys.
So many people have gotten burned so many times on these platforms doing that and not doing it. Protect yourself. Goods and services, only way to do it.
Listen
the only
to
way
Fred
I buy
Durst.
from other people.
Listen to Dursty, folks.
Durst knows. That's it. I did it for the nookie, my friend. I did it for the nookie.
He did it for
With
the
that being said,
Listen, cards.
I got it. I got it. We're gonna one of these days, Cary from American Arbitrage Cards.
That's me.
Rod from Picking and Punching Cards.
That's me.
Tim from Over the Years Sports, collectively known as the No Bangers Sports Card Podcast.
It's true.
Will put together their own sports card show, and that show will be
the Bangtown Invitational.
The Bangtown Card Show.
Dude, we'll have like 3-on-3 tournaments. Right. We'll have the Bangtown.
It's going to be the biggest. It's going to be the biggest sports card show since National.
And do you know what's going to happen? And if you show up, Tim's going to give you a participation trophy just for showing up.
Can I say one rule?
Everybody who has VIP passes is going to get a medal.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We need to talk about the Bangtown Card Show. I love this.
Right? I'm not even joking. I'm not
joking too, but this is what I would love. I would love a card show. This is the only rule. Only bargain boxes. You cannot sell any boxes.
We can't.
No, that would be hilarious. No, but I think there's a market for that. You only do boxes. No showcases. You could put fancy cards in a box. Would you How excited would you be if you walked into a show and it was 60, 70 tables, nothing but boxes?
Well, we could do.
Bargain
I would
boxes.
be very excited.
Exactly. There's people like us. Rod, we'll give Rod a case corner. There'll be one corner.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
the
That's
case
what we
people.
would do it. That's how we
We'll
would
have
do
the
it.
highfalutin people
In
they
one
get
area.
one little section.
Yep.
Because that's fair.
Bangtown
Because
Card Show.
he is really the heart and soul of Bangtown.
Do not steal this idea.
Don't
Do
steal
not
it, guys.
steal this.
If we see
idea.
another Bangtown card show stealing our idea,
we're gonna know you did it, and we're gonna come for you, and we're gonna roast you on No Banger Sports Card Podcast with all 1,000 views that we get right now. Tell a friend to tell a friend on 3. No bangers on 3. 1, 2, 3. No bangers.
Don't steal it.